Mr. John, 82 years old, living in California, used to be an active person and loved to walk every morning in the park near his house. But everything began to change when he felt his legs gradually weaken, then numb, aching for no apparent reason. His once steady steps became shaky, and just a lap around the park made him gasp for breath, having to sit down and rest continuously. He went to the doctor and received a blunt answer: "I'm old, I can't do it." That sentence was like a sentence forcing him to live a dependent life, to sit still and watch old age swallow up his freedom. But Mr. John did not accept that. With the help of his daughter, a nurse working at a geriatric center, he began his journey to regain the health of his legs, not with painkillers, but by supplementing the right vitamins and minerals necessary for the elderly body. After only 3 months, everything changed miraculously. His journey began with vitamin D, a vitamin that most older people lack due to lack of exposure to sunlight. He was advised to supplement 800 IU/day along with a regimen of walking in the early morning, when the sunlight is still mild. After a few weeks, he felt less bone pain, especially in his knees and ankles. Next came calcium, an indispensable companion of vitamin D. He added milk, cheese, and yogurt to his menu, and also used calcium tablets after meals. The pain gradually faded, and standing up and walking no longer made him frown. The third step was vitamin B12, which is especially important for peripheral nerves. Mr. John used to have numbness in his legs and loss of feeling in his feet, which almost caused him to fall several times. After regular injections and maintaining the supplement dose as directed, he felt less numb in his legs, slept better and especially had better balance. Combined with that is vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that helps increase blood circulation, improve flexibility in the feet and ankles. Mr. John started eating walnuts, sunflower seeds, and using olive oil to cook every day. Thanks to that, he no longer feels cold feet or pain at night. In addition, vitamin C also plays an important role in supporting connective tissue and cartilage. He eats more fruits such as oranges, kiwis, strawberries to increase natural collagen, helping the knees move more flexibly. And finally, vitamin K, an important factor that helps bind calcium to bones, avoiding deposits in the blood vessels. Green leafy vegetables such as spinach and broccoli are indispensable dishes in his dinner. By regularly combining these 6 vitamins with a light walking regimen, practicing ankle rotations and knee lifts every morning, Mr. John can now confidently walk with his grandson in the park, a place that used to haunt him. No more sighs, no more worried eyes from his children. He held his grandchild's hand and smiled brightly. A man who seemed to have been defeated by age, is now gradually regaining his freedom, every step, every breath, every small but priceless joy. 2. Common situation. Elderly people often face many health problems, one of which is muscle weakness, leg numbness, and joint pain, symptoms that seem normal but can originate from vitamin and mineral deficiencies in the body. As age increases, the ability to absorb nutrients from food decreases, combined with a less diverse or inadequate diet, making the elderly body susceptible to deficiencies in important micronutrients such as vitamins D, calcium, B12, C, E and K. These micronutrients play an essential role in maintaining bone density, muscle strength, and blood circulation to the limbs. When lacking vitamin D and calcium, bones become brittle, prone to fracture and osteoporosis. The illustration shows that the bone structure in the elderly is much thinner and more porous than that of young people. At the same time, a lack of B12 causes peripheral nerves to function less effectively, causing numbness and tingling in the feet and hands, a symptom that is often mistaken for simply the weather or age. Moreover, over time, muscles gradually atrophy due to a lack of protein and vitamin E, causing the elderly to gradually lose their support, fall easily, and lose balance when walking. Vitamin E also plays a role in promoting blood circulation, which is very important to nourish the limbs and eliminate the feeling of cold, numbness or prolonged aches and pains. A lack of vitamin C causes connective tissue to weaken, and cartilage is no longer effectively regenerated, leading to knee pain and stiffness when waking up or standing up after sitting for a long time. Meanwhile, A lack of vitamin K disrupts the process of calcium mineralization, causing calcium not to be transported into the bones but to be deposited in the blood vessel walls, making blood vessels less elastic and reducing circulation to distant parts such as the feet. The illustration shows a foot with atrophied muscles, thin blood vessels and poor blood circulation, causing pale skin and pain that is more common at night. These changes occur silently but directly affect the quality of life and independent mobility of the elderly. Therefore, adequate supplementation of vitamins and minerals through a balanced diet and appropriate supplements is the first and most important step to keep the feet healthy, helping the elderly maintain confidence, initiative and freedom in daily activities. 3. Vitamin D, sunshine for your feet. Mr. John used to be an elderly man who lived a private life and rarely left the house. Over 80 years old, he spent most of his time in the living room or sitting on the sofa looking out the window. This habit lasted for many years and he was almost no longer exposed to sunlight, a natural source of vitamin D, which is very important for the body, especially for the elderly. The vitamin D deficiency caused his bone density to decrease sharply, leading to severe osteoporosis, which he did not realize until the dull pain in his legs appeared more and more frequently. Every time he stood up or took a few steps, he felt a sharp pain in his knees and ankles, and sometimes he lost his balance because the support from his bones had weakened. After a slight fall in the garden, his family took him for a general checkup and the doctor determined that the main cause was vitamin D deficiency leading to osteoporosis. From then on, Mr. John began to follow the doctor's recommended vitamin D supplement regimen of 800 IU per day, combined with exposure to sunlight for about 15 to 20 minutes in the early morning to increase the ability to absorb natural vitamin D. After just a few weeks, he felt his legs lighter, the dull pain was significantly reduced, and he began to feel more confident when moving around the yard. 3 months later, the change almost surprised the whole family. He could not only walk by himself but also cycle slowly around the neighborhood, something he previously thought he would never be able to do again. The image of Mr. John smiling while cycling in the early morning sun, his rosy skin and bright eyes, is a living testament to the effectiveness of proper vitamin D supplementation. As the sunlight hits his shoulders, we see a symbol of recovery. Sunlight represents life, strong bones represent returning strength, and John's smile is proof of a positive, healthy, and hopeful old age. From being almost tied to an armchair, John has stepped outside, breathed fresh air, and enjoyed the freedom of movement that many seniors think they can never have again. 4. Calcium, the durable support frame. Nutritionists always emphasize that, without calcium, vitamin D cannot function. This sounds simple but is the key to improving bone health for the elderly. Vitamin D helps the body absorb calcium more effectively, but if the body does not have enough calcium, no matter how abundant vitamin D is, it cannot exert its maximum effect. Mr. John's case is a specific example. After a period of supplementing vitamin D, he began to pay more attention to supplementing calcium through his daily diet. Mr. John shared enthusiastically, "I drink milk and eat cheese every day, it's a big difference." Previously, his diet was very poor, with almost no dairy products or calcium-rich foods. But now, his breakfast always includes a glass of warm milk, a small piece of cheese with lunch or afternoon snack. This simple change has created a very clear transformation. The results of the bone density measurement before and after 3 months showed a positive improvement. From severe osteoporosis, the T-score index was raised to almost normal. The illustration of before/after comparing the two bone density measurements of Mr. John surprised both the doctor and his family. On the previous bone measurement film, the image showed areas of spongy, uneven bone, clearly showing loss of substance. But on the second measurement, the bone areas were denser, more even and clearer, showing that the mineralization process was taking place smoothly thanks to the right combination of vitamin D and calcium. His body not only had less pain, but also became more flexible and light when walking, bending down or moving his arms and legs. He was no longer afraid to go down the stairs or turn around to stand up like before. The reasonable combination of vitamin D supplementation in the right dose and a calcium-rich diet helped Mr. John overcome the fear of broken bones or being bedridden when he was old. This is also what experts always advise the elderly and caregivers to remember: just by eating a balanced diet, supplementing the right nutrients, especially the pair of vitamin D and calcium, the body can still recover and become healthier every day, regardless of age. Mr. John's story is not only a health journey but also a belief that, with proper care, old age can still be joyful and full of hope. 5. Vitamin B12, healthy nerves, no numb legs. Mr. John spent a long time living with numbness and sensory disturbances in his legs. At first, it was just a fleeting feeling of ants crawling, but gradually, the numbness spread to his knees, accompanied by a feeling of coldness at night and sometimes even losing the feeling when touching the floor. He recounted, "I thought I was just suffering from old age, trying to endure it, but unexpectedly the condition got worse. I could not walk steadily, and I had trouble sleeping at night." After going to the hospital for examination, the doctor diagnosed him with a vitamin B12 deficiency, a vitamin that plays an essential role in nourishing peripheral nerves and supporting sensory transmission. The doctor advised him to take regular B12 injections in the beginning to increase absorption efficiency, because as he gets older, the ability to digest and metabolize nutrients from food is significantly reduced. After only about 2 weeks from the first injection, Mr. John began to feel his legs lighter. The numbness and tingling were significantly reduced, and he could walk a short distance around the house without feeling like his legs were not his own. In particular, he also noticed that his sleep was deeper, and he no longer woke up in the middle of the night due to tingling or muscle cramps like before. According to clinical neurologist Amanda Wells, USA, vitamin B12 is an indispensable component of the myelin sheath that protects the nerves. Prolonged B12 deficiency not only causes numbness but also leads to permanent nerve damage. Early detection and proper supplementation can significantly restore nerve function. For elderly people like Mr. John, the nervous system has naturally weakened due to aging, so ensuring adequate B12 is even more important. After the injection phase, Mr. John was switched to sublingual B12 tablets, a form of direct absorption through the oral mucosa, helping to avoid dependence on the already poor digestive tract. He maintains this habit of taking this supplement regularly every day and combines it with a light walk in the morning to increase blood circulation. His family shared, since taking B12 supplements, he has become much happier and more active. He no longer complains of pain due to numb legs like before. Thanks to perseverance and proper treatment, Mr. John has gradually regained his sensitivity and significantly improved his quality of life. His story is a clear demonstration that vitamin deficiency, especially B12, can seriously affect neurological health, but can be completely restored if detected and supplemented promptly. This is also a reminder for the elderly to pay more attention to regular micronutrient checks, because sometimes even a small deficiency can cause the body to speak out with prolonged symptoms and affect the entire mental and physical life. 6. Vitamin E increases blood circulation, reduces leg pain. Previously, Mr. John's meals were quite simple, mainly white rice, a little boiled vegetables and lean meat. Because he lived alone, he often ate hastily, paying little attention to nutritional quality. The dull pain in his legs, the feeling of coldness and paleness in his toes appeared more and more frequently, making him worried. After examination, the doctors said that he was experiencing poor blood circulation, especially in his lower limbs, partly due to age, partly due to a lack of essential fatty acids that are beneficial for the cardiovascular system and blood vessels. Listening to the advice of a nutritionist, he began to change his diet by adding walnuts to his breakfast and using olive oil instead of animal fat in stir-fried dishes. At first, he was quite hesitant because he was not used to the taste, but after only about a month, he began to feel a clear change. The dull pain subsided, his feet were less cold and especially the skin on his feet looked rosy and more vibrant. The doctor said that omega-3 in walnuts and olive oil has anti-inflammatory effects, reduces platelet aggregation and helps blood vessels to be more elastic, thereby improving blood circulation to the limbs. That explains why he feels lighter when walking and is no longer stiff every morning when he wakes up. Close-up images of blood vessels in the legs before and after 8 weeks show significant results. Before, the capillaries were constricted, blood circulation was weak. After improving the diet, the capillary system became evenly dilated, blood circulation was better, and the skin color of the legs also changed from pale to rosy. Mr. John shared, "I didn't expect that just changing a little bit in the meal could create such a big change. Now I even crave walnuts as a snack, it's delicious." The new eating habits not only help him become healthier but also feel more optimistic and active. Family and friends also noticed that he was much more cheerful and happy than before. John's story shows the importance of good fats in the daily diet, especially for the elderly, whose circulatory system gradually weakens over time. Just by regularly adding foods rich in omega-3 such as walnuts, olive oil or fatty fish, the body will be fueled to help blood circulate well, organs function smoothly, and the legs will no longer be heavy with each step. This is a small change but has a big impact, easy to do, and very suitable for the physical condition and needs of the elderly in improving health and enhancing quality of life. 7. Vitamin C, tissue regeneration, flexible joints. Mr. John used to suffer from dull pain in his knees and ankles every time the weather changed, especially early in the morning or after a lot of exercise. The doctor diagnosed him with mild arthritis, a common condition in the elderly due to cartilage wear and tear and decreased muscle and tendon function over time. Previously, he only took painkillers when the pain became uncomfortable, but the effect was only temporary and not sustainable. After an in-depth examination, he was advised to supplement vitamin C daily because this vitamin plays an important role in the synthesis of collagen, a major structural component of cartilage, tendons and ligaments. Increasing endogenous collagen helps improve joint elasticity and flexibility, while also soothing inflammation and regenerating damaged tissue. At first, he was quite skeptical because he thought vitamin C was only to increase resistance, but when he understood more about its mechanism of action on the musculoskeletal system, he began to proactively change his diet. Every morning, he drinks a glass of fresh orange juice, adds a few slices of strawberries for a snack, and has boiled broccoli for dinner. These foods are not only rich in vitamin C but also easy to digest, suitable for the elderly. After about 2 months, he noticed that his joint pain had significantly subsided, and his movements of rotating his legs and climbing stairs became easier. He was no longer afraid to go out early in the morning, and even went for a walk with his grandson every afternoon without feeling as tired as before. Doctors also noted that the level of inflammation in his blood had significantly decreased. In addition, his skin had also become brighter and more even-toned, a positive side effect of increasing vitamin C. Mr. John happily shared, "Just adding a few delicious fruits to my daily meals, I saw a clear change in my body. Now I'm addicted to strawberries." His story is a clear demonstration of health care through nutrition, especially for the elderly. Vitamin C not only helps boost immunity but is also a key factor in protecting and restoring the skeletal system, one of the issues that greatly affects the quality of life in old age. With simple choices such as oranges, broccoli, or strawberries, anyone can easily supplement this nutrient to take care of the body from the root, improve flexibility and reduce pain over the years. 8. Vitamin K supports bones and leg blood vessels. John used to think that calcium supplements were enough to keep his bones strong in old age. Every day, he took the recommended dose of calcium tablets, but after a few months, his test results showed that his bone density had not improved significantly, and there was even slight calcification in his blood vessel walls. This confused him and he began to investigate further. During an in-depth consultation, the nutritionist explained, "Vitamin K is like a coordinator at a bone construction site. Without it, calcium can be poured into the wrong place, sticking to the blood vessel walls instead of accumulating in the bones." This made John realize that calcium supplementation alone was not enough. The body needed a coordinated system to deliver this mineral to the right place. Vitamin K, especially the K2 form, acts as a guide, activating calcium transport proteins and helping it attach to bone tissue instead of being deposited in blood vessels or soft tissues. The simulation illustrates this mechanism clearly. Calcium moves through the blood and vitamin K guides it to bone tissue, while closing the gate in the vessel walls to prevent unwanted accumulation. After understanding that, Mr. John adjusted his diet by adding foods rich in vitamin K such as spinach, broccoli, natto, fermented soybeans, and egg yolks. In addition, he used vitamin K2 supplements combined with D3 and calcium, according to the recommended dosage by the expert. After only 2 months, his bone density measurement results improved significantly, with no signs of calcification in the blood vessels. What is special is that he felt his body lighter, the pain in his back and knee joints gradually decreased. His skin also became rosy and healthier. With an optimistic look, Mr. John shared, "I used to think that old age could only be endured with pain. But now I understand that proper care and adequate nutrition will help me live a healthy and easy life, just like the way I walk every morning." His story is a gentle but profound reminder that each nutrient has its own role and that smart, coordinated supplementation is the key to protecting the health of old age in a sustainable and safe way. 9. Summary plus gentle call. Mr. John smiled gently when talking about his new morning routine. "I only need 10 minutes a day to take vitamins, do light exercise, and now I walk with my wife every morning. That is the most precious thing." Previously, he used to feel heavy every time he got out of bed. The numbness running down his legs made him afraid to go out. But after regularly supplementing essential nutrients such as vitamin D, B12, calcium, and vitamin K2, combined with light exercise, everything gradually changed. There was no need to go to the gym or pursue complicated exercises. He started with simple movements at home, just a few minutes of rotating his ankles every morning to stimulate blood circulation, then gently lifting his knees to make his knee joints more flexible. At first, he only did it a few times and then rested, but after a week, his body gradually got used to it. The rhythmic coordination between nutritional supplements and exercise helped him feel healthier every day. His legs felt lighter, and his steps were also more steady. Along with that is the companionship of his life partner, Mrs. Linda, who always holds his hand every morning in the small park near their house. The chirping of birds, the gentle sunshine and the smiles of children playing make him feel that life is truly worth living, gentle and peaceful. The warm background music sounds like a gentle symphony for healthy old age. The affectionate images, grandparents walking together in the early morning sun, their eyes shining, make anyone who watches feel warm. In the midst of that scene, a sincere message appears: do you want your grandparents to be able to go to the market, walk in the park, and live more freely? Please share this video. That is not only the conclusion but also a reminder of love and care for the elderly in the family. With just a little perseverance, a little understanding, and the right companionship, the elderly can completely enjoy an independent, proactive, and happy life. Each steady step is a precious rhythm of life.